Really quick, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time in here. I did want to kind of like hit on the hurricane a little bit. It's hard to say, there's pretty high confidence, and I think from a statistical standpoint, we can say, yep, this thing is going to hit pretty much right up there in the old, right in the armpit of Florida. It's not. It's kind of between some larger like metropolitan areas. And again, just because it's not hitting like making a direct landfall on one of those, it doesn't mean that there isn't going to be like significant property damage. And who knows what this thing's going to do in the cone of uncertainty when you get outside of over here by Bermuda, it becomes a circle, right? So they have no idea what it's going to be doing after that. Could loop back around, could come back in and whack Florida again. It could go up to New York. It could go to the Carolinas. It could go out to sea and dissipate. Who knows, right? The other thing I think is important to note is that because the hurricanes are counterclockwise rotation, as far as I know, I think they all are. That upper right quadrant of the storm has the highest winds and I think the most storm surge, and that's going to be kind of pointed right at Tampa. So even though they may not get a direct landfall, they may still have significant effects from the storm. Thank you, April. I appreciate that. So who knows? If you're on standby, great. If you get put on standby by multiple companies, say yes to all of them, right? Pilot, Eberl, Alacrity, Crawford, CCMS, Pacesetter, Renfro, Wardlaw, One Call. I mean, there's a whole long list of IA firms. If you're on those rosters at those companies, if you've onboarded with them, and they're ready to deploy you, even if you may or may not be ready, they may be pinging you on your phone saying, "Hey, are you want to? We're expecting claims out of this. Do you want to deploy? Yes or no?" And I would say yes to all of those. I've said this before. Say it again. The key here is that if you have 5 companies sending you a standby request and you say yes to all those, go with the first one that calls, right? So if you said yes to 5, and then this guy calls you and says, "Hey, we got claims for you, or we want to stage you up down in Atlanta or Tallahassee or whatever, Pensacola, start heading towards Florida," then go. And the rest of those companies, if they call you, because they may not call, right? If they do call or if they do text back or whatever, just simply say, "Hey, thank you for your interest. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, I'm not available now. Sorry. Hope to catch you on the next one." Right? And that's all you need to say. You don't need to make excuses or say you went with this other company or say you're not going with them because they didn't pay enough. Whatever it is, right? Just say, thank you for your consideration, thinking about me. I appreciate it. I'm not available. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye. Because the person that's calling you has to probably make dozens of calls or maybe even hundreds of phone calls, right, to call other adjusters. And if you're sitting there giving your life story to them on the phone, you're wasting their time, right? They'll remember that more than you just saying, "No, I can't do it," right? "No, I can't do it. Bye. Get off the phone," right? Don't make yourself memorable by sitting there making a bunch of excuses and just blabbing away and wasting this person's time. Please, it's okay to say yes to standby and then say no when they call to deploy you, if they call, right? Which is another reason why. Bright Girl B en route, which I know there's several people that I've talked to that are en route to this thing. Another thing I really want to kind of emphasize with the standby piece, if you get put on standby by 5 companies and maybe 2 of those companies you really, 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 really want to work for because you either know them or more likely you heard that they have a really good fee schedule or they're great to work for and those are your preferred ones, and this company calls you, and you don't say no hoping that this guy will call you, okay? Go with the one dance with the one that brung you. Bird in hand is worth 2 in the bush, right? Don't leave fish to go find fish. I mean, there's a million different things you could say, right? Because these guys might be staffed by the time they get down to their rosters to you. Because maybe they are more popular for some reason, right? They may never call you, and then you're not working at all, right? So go with Go with the first company that calls you, and just go. Your first storm event is going to be you figuring out, getting your arms wrapped around this thing and seeing if you really even want to do this, right? It's going to be highly stressful. There's a lot to it. Which brings me to the main reason why I got on here, and that is because we have, and this is totally coincidental, by the way, I didn't plan this. We do this periodically every few months. We do a online workshop, like a webinar masterclass kind of a thing. And our next one is this Thursday, August 31st. And I'll just show you the screen here. This is the web page for it. It is, if you go to adjustyourtv.com/workshop, and I'll put that in the chat here. adjustyourtv.com/workshop. I'll be talking about how you can make the most of your 2023 storm season as a brand new adjuster. There's a lot of Q&A. I will be talking about our paid training towards the end of this, just so that you know we're opening the doors to that again, and it's going to happen during this event. So FYI, if you're waiting for that, I know a lot of people are, then this will be your opportunity to learn more about it and get some more information about it, ask more questions about it, and if you want to jump in, totally jump in. But go to adjustyourtv.com/workshop and register for this workshop. And we usually go 90 minutes, sometimes 2 hours. Cover a lot of materials, and then the Q&A is really kind of where the gold is in this. But I'd love to see you there. But I really wanted to just kind of jump on here live properly this time to announce that we're running this thing on Thursday. I'm not sure what the time is. I think it's 1 o'clock Central Time. If you happen to be driving, right? If you're going to be, and again, the storm will have passed Wednesday, and this is when the phones are really going to blow up. Is after that when they kind of go back in and assess. They assess what it did. Was it really that bad? Was it terrible? Was it But watching the news or whatever, you're probably going to be in your car, and you can join this thing via your phone. So go to adjustyourtv.com/workshop, and I look forward to seeing you there. There's a ton of people. There's I think over 200 people already registered for it, but I wanted to get on here on YouTube and kind of let you guys know about it as well. So anyway, that's all I got for you. I'll go ahead and let you go. See if I can end the stream without burning the house down. But thanks again. This is we don't want storms to happen. If we lived in a world where there wasn't any destruction from Mother Nature, things would be great. But unfortunately, that isn't the world that we live in, and we prepare for this stuff. And this is why we train and why we become adjusters, is so that we can do this. We can be bright girl B, right? And all the other people that I've talked to who are either on standby or who are deployed or en route, who are driving down to this storm. So we'll see what happens with it. But again, even if it's kind of like not a huge deal, there's still going to be claims down there, and people are still going to work it. But this is still really we're on the cusp, really just the beginning of that ramp up into that like extreme peak of hurricane season. So it's not over yet. So we still got a few weeks. Actually, really, if you look at this historically, it's almost 2 months worth of hurricane, like the main, like hottest, like most intense part of hurricane season left. So we're not done yet. The year's not over yet. So anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And we will catch you guys on Thursday, August 31st, which is the day after tomorrow, right? Today's Tuesday. At, I believe it's 12 o'clock Mountain Time, which is 1 p.m. Central Time. Could be wrong on that, but if you register, it'll tell you we're just doing one of them, so we're not going to be doing a whole bunch. And if you can't make it, if you're like, there's no way in the world I can peel off and watch that live, register for it anyway, and then you'll receive an email with a link to watch your replay. Right? And if you have other questions about that, you should probably get your questions answered, because there's always a lot of really good questions during the Q&A. So anyway, I'll catch you guys.